All right, so in my residential snow removal business, I charge a flat seasonal rate to my customers, meaning that they charge a flat fee for the whole season, regardless of how much snow falls. So if it snows every day, or if it doesn't snow whatsoever, they get charged the same amount and I get paid the same amount. That's the way I like to run my business, and I have a video talking about the pros and the cons of doing it that way, opposed to charging on a per snowfall basis, and the pros and cons of doing it that way. And somebody in the comments actually requested that I make a video talking about how I would charge if I were to charge on a per snowfall basis. So in this video, I just want to quickly address that question and go over what I would do. So the first big thing I would want to keep in mind when doing estimates this way is to make sure that I tell the customer that it's going to cost more if there's more snow, basically. So if there's an inch of snow, maybe it's this price. If there's half a foot of snow, there's this price. If there's a foot of snow, it's this price. So I'd make sure to communicate with the customer that the more it snows, the more you're going to charge them. And this being because, of course, you don't want to throw, $20 for a snow shoveling, and, which is fine when there's only a inch of snow, but as soon as you get to a foot of snow and it takes 3-4 times longer to take care of, you're going to be kicking yourself and wishing you were making a little bit more money. So that's the first big thing I would keep in mind. So the next big thing I would want to keep in mind is I would try to avoid customers that want you just whenever they call. I've had customers in the past that I've worked this deal out with where I said, hey, just call me when you need me and I'll come down and I'll shovel your snow for you. And what ended up happening with me in several cases is that I showed up at these customers' properties when they called, and it turned out that they left the snow for 3 or 4 or 5 snowfalls, whatever, and it was way deeper than it should have been, and it was frozen, and there was foot traffic and cars that had driven over it, and the job ended up taking a lot longer than anticipated. So I would try to avoid people that would just want you on a per call basis, and what I would do instead is set up your customers so that you are their snow guy that shows up after a certain amount of snow. So if there's an inch of snow or 2 inches of snow or 3 inches of snow, whatever your trigger is with your customer, whatever you work out, you just show up and take care of their snow after that amount of snow has fallen. They don't call you, you don't call them. It's just sort of expected that you're going to show up and take care of their snow. So I would prefer you to be doing it that way, opposed to somebody just calling you whenever they need you. Stay away from those guys. That's the second big thing I would keep in mind. So these are just a couple things that I would keep in mind when doing estimates and charging people on a per snowfall basis. Other than that, I would just make sure to record every day that you go out, record how much snow had fallen, record which customers you had taken care of on which days, and keep a log of that. And then at the end of each month, tally it up and send an invoice to your customers for each month. So that's the way I would operate if I were to charge on a per snowfall basis. Again, this is not how I operate. I don't do this with anybody. This is just kind of what I would do hypothetically if I were to do that. So because I don't do it, there's probably a lot of stuff I'm missing. If you do charge on a per snowfall basis and there's something you'd like to add, please leave it in the comments section below. Other than that, if you have any questions, please leave them below. Thank you very much for watching the video, and peace.